Hi everyone, my name is Trisha and welcome back to my channel. And yes, that's me. I would like to say thank you so much for watching my vlogs. So we have an upload last week, and those who watched it, thank you so much because it's like a really good information and it will help you a lot when it comes to going to Malta, migrating to Malta, and many more. So please help me by sharing my video, and also don't forget to like and share, and of course comment all my videos for more updated videos to come. So for today's vlog, I'm going to share you how to invite your family in Malta and how to apply a family visa in VFS Global. Okay guys, so bringing your family in Malta is very easy and you don't need to go to an agent or agency to process it. You can do it by yourself and it saves you a lot of money, time, and effort. Like I'm always saying guys, that all my vlogs, all my videos in my channel are all based on my real experience. It was a real life experience that I experienced by myself living in Malta. So inviting a family is I already experienced because I already brought my sister and my cousin in Malta and I helped them, and until now they are still in Malta and they are happily living and working there. So when I went in Malta, guys, I waited for 2 years before I managed to invite my sister. So I arrived in Malta 2017 and I invited my sister, or I brought my sister in Malta 2019. So that is like a 2 years before I process and I invite her and I applied her visa. And all the process I did by myself, and I don't ask any information to other people because the time that I'm about to process the papers of my sister, I also tried and approached many people about this if they have information. And many people I asked with different information and different ideas about this. So I was confused and I said I was gonna just do it myself. So yes, I did. And yeah, I successfully applied her, and now I even brought two family members in Malta. Because guys, it's better to do it yourself than relying to others' opinion, especially if that people doesn't know about it and he or she never experienced about the thing that you wants to know. And yeah, it's better if you can just search and do it by yourself because it saves you a lot of energy, time, and effort, and of course, your safety. So guys, I was thinking like VFS Global is the one who accept and process of visa application. So I was thinking like, why not go to VFS Global website and check for the checklist and all the requirements there so I know what I'm going to prepare. And I did it by myself. So what I did, I searched the VFS Global website. So that was in Manila website. And then I checked there the family and friends invite, and I saw the checklist and I just completed all the requirements that is applicable to me and to my family member that is being invited in Malta. So now, what are the requirements that I submitted into VFS Global that I prepare on my side as a sponsor? So guys, to the sponsor, you have to prepare your front copy of your passport. Of course, the next is your ID card copy or your residence permit in Malta. Next requirements is 3 latest payslip. So yes guys, the payslip should be latest. For example, you're going to invite your family member this month, so the last 3 months is starting this month should be your payslip. So that's how they count of latest payslip. So next one also is rental declaration. This rental declaration meaning to say your house contract in Malta. If you are renting a room or renting a house, an apartment, you need to get your rental agreement because it's one of the requirements. Proof that you have accommodation and that you have your own stay in Malta. And also that your family member, that they will need to stay with you. That's why it's really important to have this rental declaration. So you need to get this one to your landlord or to the owner of your house that you are renting now. Next one is declaration of proof. So where you can get this declaration of proof is downloadable to VFS Global website, and it is free of charge. Remember guys, it's free of charge. You don't need to pay anything about it. So in case that you're asking to any people about the forms, better go by yourself to VFS Global because you can get it for free, because many people are just asking for extra payment about forms. It's very easy. Go to the forms section of VFS Global and you can download the declaration of proof as family member. So next one is your invitation letter. So the invitation letter should be at least 6 months validity. So just for example, the invitation letter, there is like a date there. So you must apply the visa in VFS Global. So now guys, take note that inviting a family member or your family relatives in Malta, it's only for 90 days because the visa is just for 90 days. So make sure that your family member is visiting you less than 90 days, not more than 90 days. You can do it like maybe 80 days, something like that, or 70 days because automatically VFS Global will issue you a 90 days visa. So my experience before is like I invited my sister and I was thinking like, okay, I will just declare 1 week, and of course for sure the VFS or the Malta embassy will gonna give a 90 days visa. No guys, it was my mistake because when I received the visa, they will only give 7 days, like 1 week, according to my invitation letter. So when they see like you're inviting your family members above 60 days, they will immediately issue a 90 days visa. But for less than 60 days, they will only give according to the days that your family member will stay in Malta. Okay guys, so inviting your family member, you should include there what is the purpose, why you are inviting your family member. For example, it's your birthday, you want to see them, you want to reunite with them, or any important occasion that you need to be with your family member is a valid reason of writing an invitation letter to come and join with you in Malta. And also, please include in your invitation letter that your family member will have to go back to your country and that the invitation is just for visiting purposes only. Why? Because it's really important, guys, because embassy will gonna ask more questions if you don't write in there, because they will gonna think like he will gonna stay and find job in Malta, which the purpose is only for visiting a family. Because of course, if you want to work in Malta, you must have an employment. But guys, take note that family visa is Schengen visa category D, meaning to say is long stay, that when they arrive in Malta, they can also use that visa to apply a work permit. That's why a family visa is allowed to apply for job in Malta. So Identity Malta will acknowledge or receive the visa entry because it's category D, meaning to say it's long term. But of course, the Malta embassy is or your country of origin, they will going to ask or make sure that your family member will going back to your country once they are invited in Malta. So just like in the Philippines, it's very strict in the immigration that once you invite your family member, they ask you if they have to come back. That's why many people are doing like, yeah, they will need to come back. But of course, most people are just staying in Malta because they allowed to apply for work. But of course, guys, don't ever include in your invitation letter about they are searching for work and it's just like for entry, because it will gonna lead into visa refusal. So next one is Schengen health insurance policy for travel. So your family member will need this. You can even book them online for health insurance because it's a requirement to apply for visa to go in Malta as family member. So for example, you invite your family member for 60 days. So meaning to say the health insurance should be valid for 60 days. Please take note guys that the travel insurance started on the day that she will going to fly. So for example, she will gonna fly like January 1. So the insurance should be started on January 1, the day of her flight. So now guys, it's very important also to get this one of the requirements. Next is your reserve ticket. So it's a two-way reserve ticket because it is required. Depends on your country of origin. Because in the Philippines, the immigration requires a two-way ticket, proof that she will going to go back in that country. So now guys, you can even pay one ticket to go, and you can even ask the travel agency that you are going to buy a ticket, or any airlines or any individual who are reserving a ticket, that the second way or the second ticket should be reserved only, and you have to pay them. For example, its validity of 3 months reserved, then meaning to say, if they are going to check if the ticket is reserved or valid, then yeah, the status of the ticket is confirmed. So you don't need to buy the actual ticket if your family member will gonna stay with you. But of course, if your family member is just for more on visiting you and still going to go back in your country, and she don't have any plan to find job or apply job later on, then it's a best idea to apply for two-way ticket on your reserve tickets. So next one is your birth certificate. It should be apostilled. So how can you apostille your birth certificate? Is you can go to your National Statistics Office in your own country and get it apostilled. Or if you're living in another country, just like for example, you're living in Malta and you're inviting your family, of course, then you just go to your own country's embassy and ask them for apostille of birth certificate. Or you can even ask your family member to apostille it in your own country. Just give them the authorization letter so they can apostille it for you. And now guys, you need to get also of the affidavit of support. This is very, very important. Affidavit of support. So you can just go to your country's consulate or embassy in Malta, for example, Philippine embassy, or any country where you're from, go to your own embassy and ask for affidavit of support, and they will give you. You just need to pay 22 euro and 50 cents. Depends on the embassy how much they will gonna charge. But for me, I paid 22 euro and 50 cents for the affidavit of support. So it's just ready form. You just need to fill out and sign, and they will gonna apostille it for you. So yes guys, that's the requirements you need to prepare on your side as a sponsor. So you are the sponsor, and those are the requirements that you need to prepare by yourself. And take note guys that all the requirements I mentioned should be notarized by the local attorney or notarial in law in Malta. So you have to find a notarial office and let all these documents I mentioned to be notarized. And those documents that needs to be apostilled, it should be apostilled. But all of that, remember, it should be notarized. Guys, Malta Embassy is really, really strict when it comes to forms, when it comes to requirements. If they say apostilled, it should be apostilled. If they say notarized, it should be notarized. And please take note that everything should be complete and not one requirement is missing. Because even just one single requirement is missing, then they will not gonna accept your application and you have to do it again. So now guys, this is the requirements to your family member, the one you are inviting to go in Malta. It's his or her birth certificate to be apostilled also. So both of your birth certificates should be apostilled. So why it needs to be apostilled? Because the embassy wants to see if you are really immediate relatives, if it is really your family member relative. So that's the proof of your being relative with each other is your birth certificate. Now guys, second one is proof of financial support from your family member. So meaning to say the source of their income. So since my um, family member source of income is employed, so she need to present her employment contract from her company. Also guys, it's much better if they will going to get an employment certificate. It's not needed, but at least you can add it on your employment contract, so it's much better. Now, she need also the certificate of absence, meaning to say that she is on leave on that company, that she will going to use that leave for traveling, that the company that she's working has been authorized her or him to travel with you in Malta. So for example, your sister or your brother or your family members is currently working at the moment. So she need to get the certificate of absence in her employer that she is on leave, and that leave will gonna be used for travel purposes. And the next one is the visa application form. So just search in VFS Global the visa application form for Malta, so you can download it for free. So okay guys, so once you're completed all the requirements and all complete, everything is ready, those requirements from you as an sponsor, so all the original is need to be submitted, or you need to send it to your family members. So all the original. I advise you to send it through Malta Post or any courier you want, but for me, I personally experience sending it in Malta Post because it's really cheap. So for normal delivery, just costs you 3 or 5 euro, and with tracking number, it costs you around 6 to 10 euro. So that time that I invited and sent the document, I just paid like around 4 euro without tracking number, and it arrived in 10 days. So, and now guys, once your family member receive all the documents that you sent to them, including the documents that needs on their side, so put them all together and they can now go to VFS Global for visa application. Guys, I always repeat, make sure that all the requirements are complete. Not even single one requirements is missing, because even one requirement is missing, they will not accept your application, and VFS Global will not accept and process your visa application. They will not going to submit it in Malta Embassy. So for Filipino nationals, the Malta Embassy is located in Beijing, China. So the VFS Global will assess and review and check all your requirements, and they will going to endorse and send your application into Malta Embassy in Beijing, China. So of course guys, you need to pay the VFS Global visa application fee that costs around 8,000 pesos. So that's it. So you will not pay anything unless any services in VFS Global you want to avail. For example, VIP processing, for example, the locker room, something like that. So that is extra. But for visa application, it costs like around 8,000 pesos, but maybe even expensive nowadays. So just prepare even extra money for that visa application also. Now guys, after you apply your visa in VFS Global, you can also choose if you want to track your application online. So you can even choose the option and pay extra also for the tracking and how you mean, it's like trace and track of your application. Okay guys, so in my experience, in just 7 days after sending to VFS Global, we received the visa of my sister, and it was successful because everything is completed. I just follow all what is in the checklist. Everything needed there, we sent. Nothing is missing, so everything is complete according to what the VFS Global says in the checklist. And yes guys, in 7 days, we receive the visa for her. Now, the one mistake I did before is just like I just stole the invitation letter. I just wrote there that she will gonna stay with me for just 7 days. And when we received the first visa, it's really exactly 7 days. So that's lesson learned for me, that if you are going to apply a visa, you must apply like within 60 days, so that the VFS Global will gonna give you a 90 days visa also. You can also say 70 days or 80 days. It's no problem guys, as long as not less than 60 days, because whatever you write in your invitation, that's what they're going to give it to you. So okay guys, when your visa is approved and it's ready, you will gonna receive an SMS notification or an email, or you can track also online if you are with track and trace about your visa, that your visa is ready for pickup or your visa is on delivery on your home address. So for me, I prefer to be delivered in my own address because we live so far away in Manila. So you will just have to pay extra for the delivery fee through LBC, and you have to pay that in VFS Global. The most important tip that I will going to tell you. So before, when I invited my sister, there is no interview from the Malta Embassy in China. So after a few months, when I invited my cousin. So rules has changed, and my cousin received a call from Malta Embassy that they are going to ask many things or some few things about the application. So first, that how we are related to each other, and that where she will going to stay, and what is my work. So that's the question that my cousin received. And also, after a few days that they called my cousin, I also received a call from Malta Embassy and they asked me the same question. So I have no idea that they called my cousin. And when they called me, I also answered the question that they want to know. And luckily, of course, we both answered the same. So that's why the visa is approved. So my tip with you guys is make sure that when VFS Global, or I mean the Malta Embassy will call you, you need to answer according on what is written on your invitation letter to avoid visa refusal, because nowadays Malta Embassy has been strict when it comes to visa application in Malta, because now there's a lot of people doing this, like inviting their family members. So of course, they also need to be strict a bit when it comes to approval of visa application. And of course, after 15 days, my cousin got the visa. So we got her visa approved from Malta Embassy. So yes, guys, first I invited my sister, and in 7 days, I got her visa. And after a few months, I invited again my cousin, and my cousin did interview. Also me, I did interview from Malta Embassy. It's through phone call, and after 15 days we received successfully the visa. So yes, guys, what I've learned to this is, as long as you are complete documents, as long as you are going to answer all the questions that they need to ask provided onto the application form, and into the invitation letter, what is written in there, it should be the same that you're going to answer to immigration officer or whatever, the visa officer or the embassy officer from Malta Embassy, and for sure they will going to approve the visa application. Actually, guys, it's not hard. It's so easy as long as you have all the complete requirements, as long as you follow all the instruction, and as long as you provide all the papers that is being asked in the checklist, and for sure your visa will be successful. So that is my real life experience applying a family visa. So two of my family member already applied a visa successfully in Malta. So those who are trying and those who are inviting now, good luck to all of you. Those who wants to apply a visa and invite their family in Malta, good luck also to all of you. And please share and like this video if you find it helpful. So we help a lot of people. And also please don't forget to like and share all my vlogs. And of course, guys, thank you so much for watching everyday my vlog. So don't forget again to like and share. Okay guys, so that's all for today's video. I hope I help you, and I hope I give you clear information about application of family visa in Malta. Thank you so much for watching, and yes, see you again next time. Bye!